What did they die for? What did they die for?
My pleasure.
क्या प्यारा कितना वेलकमिंग कितना खुश स्माइल है इमरान खान.
Our best journalists hounded out of the country, murdered.
Imran never saw the punch, hit him flush in the jaw. This was actually a knockdown.
You don't have any principles?
तो भैया मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहे हो? तालिबान अपना जवाब खुद देंगे. Trump की tariffs, how would it affect American businesses doing trade with China? Why is he talking about grabbing? Imran is going strong, and he had the opportunity to knock down. Hello and welcome to part 2 of Imran Khan, Tim Sebastian breakdown video. Thank you for your comments on the first video. बहुत से लोगों ने कहा कि ऑडियो अच्छी नहीं है. I have tried to improve it, but I might have to get a better mic. कुछ लोगों ने कहा कि लाइटिंग भी कम है. You tell me if it's any better. एक और चेंज जो बैकग्राउंड है वन ब्लर की है. Some people wanted to see the details in the background. You let me know which one do you prefer. I prefer the blurred background because फिर वो distracting नहीं होता और focus जो है वो मेरे पे रहता है. But you're the ultimate judge. So now let's get on with Imran Khan, Tim Sebastian, part 2.
You cannot compare, Tim, what is going on right now. Our best journalists hounded out of the country, murdered. Four of our top journalists have run out of the country. Our other journalist, who is the highest viewership on YouTube, has been abducted for 2 months. His family doesn't know where he is. All media is controlled today. My name is not allowed to be mentioned on television.
Mr. Khan, can we stay with your record?
Not even during martial laws, there's such sort of media clampdown.
Can we stay with your record?
लेकिन उसने उसको मौका दिया, उसको छोड़ दिया. And Tim kind of evaded. So I was thinking, can we talk about your record? Even his tone and tenor was not as offensive. तो उसने redirection किया. I think थोड़ा सा ये भी इमरान को अपने repertoire of tricks में डालना चाहिए कि अगर कोई बात मर्जी की नहीं हो रही तो आप redirect कर दो, कोई और बात कर. And Tim does that, and he kind of avoids being knocked down here.
I mean,
well, you never revised it, did you?
But listen,
you never revised it. I'm giving you a chance to revise your opinion of the Taliban
all,
and who whipped and beat women when they demonstrated for their rights. Whipped and beat them.
अच्छा, बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग. नाउ टिम इज ट्राइंग टू बी नाइस. उसको एक ब्लो पड़ा है ना, so उसका भी टोन और टेनर चेंज हुआ है. नाउ इज ट्राइंग टू बी नाइस. बात इस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हो रही थी कि जब विड्रॉल ऑफ अमेरिकन ट्रूप्स और तालिबान की गवर्नमेंट आने पे इमरान ने कहा था कि दे हैव ब्रोकन द शैकल्स ऑफ एनस्लेवमेंट. टिम इज नाउ सेइंग कि यू नेवर रिवाइज्ड इट, बट नाउ आई एम गिविंग यू द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू रिवाइज इट. So Tim is feeling down and he's trying to be nice here.
Against the British in the 19th century, the Afghans got their freedom when the British left. Soviets in 20th century, when they left, they got their freedom. So the US, when they left, they got their freedom. That's how it's just a fact.
अब इमरान का जवाब सुनाएं. Good, detailed, authoritative response, and love the way they ended.
Look, Taliban must defend themselves, whatever, they should. I'm not their spokesperson.
You have...
तो भैया मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहे हो? तालिबान अपना जवाब खुद देंगे. That's the reframing that Imran needs to do. You don't need to continuously explain yourself. You don't need to justify everything that you've done. If you're confident in what you've done being the right thing, so come on the offensive. और स्पेशली reframe करो. अगर वो फ्रेम ऐसे कर रहा है आर्गुमेंट कि जिसमें तुम्हें कटहरे में डाल रहा है, तो reframe करो. मेरे से क्यों पूछ रहे हो? जाओ उससे पूछो. Love that.
Why would you, a self-declared Democrat, want to strengthen a government that was and still is repressing and brutalizing so many people in Afghanistan? That's what people in the West find difficult to understand.
Tim, first of all, as the Prime Minister of the country, my top priority is people of Pakistan. What is good for them?
Now you can see the completion of the transformation of Imran as a head of government. And this is the perfect response जो कि एक head of government की तरफ से आना चाहिए था. अब जो मैं आपको exchange दिखा रहा हूँ, this is the best exchange of the interview. Tim को भी फेंटी पड़ी है इमरान से, and he's now trying to get back at Imran. He's at his most ruthless here.
Why not? You don't have any principles?
You don't have any principles? अब this was disrespectful. एक head of government से एक interviewer इस तरह बात कर रहा है, नहीं करनी चाहिए थी. But Imran pushed him in the corner and he lashed out. He lashed out because he thought he could get away with it. Unfortunately, in this case, he was right. Imran didn't take him to task on this, and that, in my view, is again a blow absorbed by Imran.
No, there are principles. But when you talk about foreign policy of a country, and let me tell you, the Western countries right now, our democracy is being dismantled in front of their eyes. Is there one statement against it?
Even though Imran didn't take him to task on वो जो उसने बदतमीजी की थी, but still, Imran may be nice, but he's still Imran Khan. तो उसका response बहुत शानदार था, बहुत जानदार था.
Western countries look to their own interests. In Kashmir, there is total violation of human rights. Is there any condemnation? No, because India is a strategic ally, a bulwark against China. So don't ask countries like us, who have 100 million vulnerable people in this country, 50 million below the poverty line, 50 million just above it. This is our priority. So they usually ask me, give statement against Uyghurs or what China doing of the Ukraine-Russian conflict. We can't afford these moral statements because our statements could affect people going below the poverty line in this country.
This is the best of Imran that you'll get in a confrontational interview. Well done, Imran. But even though this was a great response, this still falls short of what we expect, or I expect personally, from Imran Khan. और उसका मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ जो नेल्सन मंडेला की एक क्लिप है, बहुत मशहूर क्लिप है.
Let us move on to our next questioner at the microphone over there. Mr.
Welcome to America, Mr. Mandela. I'm Ken Edelman. Those of us who share your struggle for human rights and against apartheid have been somewhat disappointed by the models of human rights that you have held up since being released in jail. You've met over the last 6 months 3 times with Yasser Arafat, who you have praised. You have told Gaddafi that you share the view on, and applaud him on his record of human rights and his drive for freedom and peace around the world. And you have praised Fidel Castro as a leader of human rights and said that Cuba was one of the countries that's head and shoulders above all other countries in human rights, despite the fact that documents at the United Nations and elsewhere show that Cuba is one of the worst. I was just wondering, are these your models of leaders of human rights? And if so, would you want a Gaddafi or an Arafat or a Castro to be a future president of South Africa?
One of the mistakes which some political analysts make is to think that their enemies should be our enemies. That we can and we will never do. Yasser Arafat, Colonel Gaddafi, Fidel Castro support our struggle to the hilt. Our attitude is based solely on the fact that they fully support the anti-apartheid struggle. They do not support it only in rhetoric. They are placing resources at our disposal for us to win the struggle. That is the position.
And that is the level of confidence that I want from Imran, knowing that he's the head of state. He represents 240 million people. So that is the level that I want Imran to come to when it comes to a confrontational interview and back and forth. To conclude, even though there are things that I would like Imran to do better in such confrontational interviews, by no means was this a loss by Imran. I think he came off strong. I think कि जहाँ पे टिम ने उसको फंसाने की कोशिश की, तो एटलीस्ट इमरान ने उससे ज्यादा तगड़ा जवाब दिया. So overall, I would consider this a win for Imran. However, I think there's room for improvement. Imran, जो उसका stature है, जो उसके achievements हैं, if he really grows into that and manifests that, Imran वो techniques adopt कर ले और वो अपनी personality में से वो niceness थोड़ी सी कम करे और वो confidence और वो aggressiveness थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा करे, it could be much better than this. But overall, I would consider this a win for Imran.